Alright, welcome guys. We are back again with Dwarf Fortress. It's Fortress Friday, so yes, it's celebration time. We're going to be testing today to see if the Goblin crossbows can make their way through Dwarven steel. Our dwarves have been activated. We've got Klingzog here sort of rushing his way. Klingzog's not in the chat at this stage. It's very, very early. So we may just sort of do a bit of a summary of the fortress and then come back to this particular fight. We've got four of them out through here. This is Bax Osmanagogang, the Goblin crossbowman. We can see what sort of crossbows they have. It's interesting. They're still terrified while in conflict, afraid after experiencing trauma, horrified after seeing a cobalt die. So these look like to be fairly green. Skilled crossbowmen, yeah. So the skilled crossbowmen, that's going to actually have some impact in terms of what they can do. Not very good with using armor or anything like that. If we have a look at the items that they've got, copper bolts. Copper bolts are not going to be all that good against the Dwarven steel, which I've labelled this one Goblin crossbows versus Dwarven steel. But there are crossbows you can sort of see that there's bolts in through this silver bolts. Silver as well is soft, and copper as well is soft. So these are probably two of the worst. Copper is not as bad as silver, to be honest, I don't think, in terms of the ability to punch its way through steel. So they're going to struggle a little bit getting past our armor. So that's the thing is, we should be able to be okay there. It's interesting because when the kobolds attack, because the kobolds are just attacked as well, you can see there's iron arrows that they've got, and they did a lot of damage. The kobolds that made it into the fortress. Let's just go and have a look at the fortress here. We've got a whole range of goblins our various guys are sort of rushing out to now attack the goblins. We should be okay with them, but we did have kobolds that made it all the way up into here. Now, what are you doing back there? That's a mace dwarf that is not on his way down. But there was a bit of carnage. They did shoot down through the. You can see the blood on the ground through here. This is Toulon's Dwarven blood is being sort of hit down through this other side. Got 2 injured citizens literally just from the one goblin, the one cobalt that made it through to the top through here with his iron arrows. Those iron arrows really did some damage to. Only fired a few arrows before we actually got to them, but it was a little bit more aggressive. Now, one thing we are going to be doing is getting rid of this door. That's going to be very important because we need to actually now lock this off and make it so that none of these kobolds are. Should just point this one out as well, because you can see the dead kobolds everywhere. We ended up just having to rush after them because they can just go straight through locked doors. So even though that is, I can lock that door down, which I don't want to do just yet because we do want to still use it. But they can pass through locked doors. So you can't rely on doors when there's kobolds, like any sort of thieving creature. Hi Rob Dave, how are you going? So so you can't actually sort of lock those. So I'm going to go and ditch that door and put that and change that into an actual wall. So we'll just get rid of that door. I knew at the time when I built it that was going to ultimately be the case. Spring Plague has redeemed a custom reward. You don't need it. You are right there. On your way, unless you mean that when your dwarf dies. So I'm going to give you that one back. I'm going to redeem your points. So I'm just going to go back and reject and refund. There you go. So you don't need it. You're on your way. You're on your way out to the fights. And so Supreme Plague is one of the Dwarven military that is on his way across to take on the invaders that are coming back through. So with the invaders, what's actually happened through here is if we do have a bit of a look at what's going on, and if I just go back up into here. Hi, retired Navy vet, how are you? So we've got our dwarves are sort of rushing out now. What happened was, the reason our dwarves are not in the fortress fighting, which is where they should be fighting, because the goal was ultimately to draw the goblins in because they're more dangerous than the kobolds, and just one kobold did a lot of damage anyway before we managed to kill it. The goal was to draw the goblins inside and then fight them inside and even capture them. But the trouble is we had three events happen all at once Three major events. The first one was the kobold. The kobolds arrived to attack the fortress, and at the same time, there was a skulking sort of goblin who is actually caught inside this cage here. So we've actually got, this is Nagulsu Osmoplungo, the goblin thief. So he arrived at the same time as well, and he did get caught in one of our traps. So he was here to snatch kids. He was looking to try to go and take some of the dwarven kids, but he actually failed, and so he didn't make it, and so so we've got him caught. So there should be, I think there's only one that should come at a time. If there are others, they'll remain hidden until someone spots them. So they could technically be inside the fortress, like they could be sort of hidden away somewhere, but they're likely to still get caught in the traps. So the traps that we have, I think, will sort of do the job there. We've still got some of our military guys are still making their way through to the, like they've still got some back in here, even though we've sort of given them attack orders. We've got kill backs is the job that they actually have. So everyone is now on, has been told, get out of your barracks and do the job. But what's happened over time is we had to sort of scramble because of the kobolds, and so we're split up all over the place. And so the kobolds, when they came through, ended up with the kobold here, and then so we ended up sort of needing to attack all the way through. And then eventually they kept on triggering, our military kept on triggering with the different kobolds, and you can see there's dead kobolds. Like by the time we triggered that one, this one was then visible, so then they killed that one. By the time that one was killed, they could then see this one because it was firing at them. So if we have a look, for example, this one's got an iron bow with copper arrows, 32 arrows there. This one here probably won't have that many arrows. Yeah, it's got 30, 28. There's 30 arrows there. So there's different numbers of arrows. There will be sort of iron arrows where they were firing at our guys. So these are iron arrows that just haven't made it past. So we've been able to deflect the arrows. The thing is, with a crossbow, it actually fires at a much higher rate, and so it actually punches through. It's the idea of a crossbow is it punches through armor, and so that's now the drama. Is to, if they were iron bolts being fired from the crossbow, we could be in trouble. But I don't think copper and silver that we're seeing so far is going to be the big issue. So anyway, triggered there. Then there was another one back over here. That one then we did trigger. So Klingzog is the furthest one out, and he's kept on triggering all the way through. And so because he keeps on rushing out to the next fight, I've had to get all the other guys to follow him. So we're outside. That's why we're outside the fortress in numbers, to sort of see what we can do against these goblins. But these goblins are going to be they're going to be much harder for us to deal with. These are armoured. You can see they've got helmets and they've got the iron crossbow. Again, the crossbow itself being made out of iron, it just makes it a good melee weapon. So if they get to hand-to-hand combat, that's going to be what they'll then go and use. Hi, Began, how you going? The silver bolts, again, as I said before, it's a soft material, so that's going to struggle when it hits the steel that we actually have back over through here. So Klingzog, for example, is dizzy and nauseous because he's outside. They haven't been outside for quite some time. Unless you acclimatise them to daylight, and that's something we could actually look at doing, is to have like a special area where they can actually train outside if we wanted to. I thank you very much there, Began, for the gifted subs. That's very, very kind of you. So thank you for that one. Anyway, the dizzy and nauseous, we're going to find that with a lot of our dwarves. They're just not used to fighting outside. That's going to make it harder for them to fight, so that's a bit of a negative in through there as well. So with Klingzog, he's already got some injuries. You can see that, sewn into his right hip, sewn into his first finger. So he's actually got some old wounds. Steel mail shirt is what the crossbow bolts really have to sort of punch through. We've got steel shield, steel high boots, things like this. So we've certainly got like a steel greaves in the lower body, steel helmet. So they're gonna have to smack their way through, and we'll watch this as the fights come through. I don't think that Klingzoggers had any actual. Yeah, so we can see through here, everything is just about the Cobalt Bowman. And so the Hammer Dwarf bashes the Cobalt Bowman in the head with his copper warhammer, bruising the muscle and bruising the skull. This was actually the last little thing that actually happened. The Hammer Dwarf blocks the flying copper bolt with his steel shield. So there's one thing where the goblins are attacking now with the copper bolts, and the copper bolts won't really do a hell of a lot of damage against the steel. So I'm sort of lucky that they're not iron or steel bolts themselves. So yeah, each metal in the game actually has got very, very realistic properties, and so will react in a realistic way. Now the rest of the goblins are, there's 1, 2 there, and then there's another 2 back over. Where is it? Shouldn't be on the edge there. There's 4 of them. I'm not seeing them. Where are they? We'll have to go and have a look and see if we can locate the other 2. They should all be together-ish. There's only 1 there. There's only 1 there. Let's go back through the invaders. So we've got year 1. Oh, there's one back there. Okay, there's the other one. Now, where's that? They're coming from the north. So they're coming straight down. So they've actually made their way through. So we've got two more attackers coming this way. This one again has got, if we go back to the items, silver bolts again won't really worry us. Copper crossbow, again, not a great melee weapon. The iron crossbows are going to be better for melee. Anyway, that's sort of what we have through there. Then we have the a bowman. So this is a goblin bowman with a iron bow and copper arrows. So again, not dramatically powerful. So our guys are going to keep on sort of rushing past to take on these 2 before anything else actually does happen. We've got 2 injured citizens. They're sort of going downside. Inside there's Orangutan's library. The ranger is recovering. So we've got Orangutan's library is recover the wounded, which is I think himself. No, we've got Mayfall here, which is seriously injured. So Mayfall was a kid that was hit by the arrows. So seriously injured back in through there. And yes, Orangutan's library is rescuing that kid. So we've got relations. Oh, that's his mum. Okay, so his mum's grabbed him and is dragging him down to the hospital. So he's being taken to the hospital layer. So that's where they're on the way through. So he has got some. If we look at his health, ability to stand has been lost. Description: left lower leg has been cut open, basically by the arrow. I don't think the arrow will still be in it. If we look at items, no, the arrow's been taken out. In fact, if we have a look and see, so we've got. This is a flying iron arrow, strikes a dwarven child in the left lower leg, tearing the muscle through the trousers. The dwarven child falls over. So it looks like it wasn't. It looks like it just went straight through his leg, or her leg. So that's actually what's happening through there. We've got one more as well, another injured citizen down through this other side. This is Toulon, the bowyer, who was making his way back in, just injured, not seriously injured. This one it did stick in, and he did have to take it out, I think. So this is. Okay, so we sort of go up through the flying iron arrow, strikes the bowyer in the upper body, tearing the muscle and fracturing the right floating rib through the rope breed vest. A tendon in the right floating rib has been torn. The iron arrow is lodged firmly in the wound. It'll tell you everything. So, and then he says, I must withdraw. The bowyer pulls out and drops the iron arrow. So he then pulls out the arrow, and then another one strikes him in the upper arm, chipping the bone and chipping the left shoulder bone. tendon has been torn. That one went through his like that one didn't actually stick in the wound, and so essentially then it just continues on down. But he's made his way down into the hospital, so he'll now be sort of looked after with those 2 injuries. So that will be not really a big problem. One thing we have to see is do we have soap in this area? Let's have a quick look and see. Yes, we do. Good. So our soap manufacturing wasn't working for a little while, but it is now, which is good. And so there we go. And actually, Klingzog is technically one of our doctors as well. I sort of did that with a bit of the military at some point, just to sort of have some some of the military actually trained in being medics as well. But Klingzog's the ones is the closest to the actual combat at this point in time. Everything we've got looks like we've got more than enough stuff in here, which is great. So yeah, no, that's all good. Everything's looking good there. So we've got enough to sort of keep the hospital going. So that was really not an issue. Right, then we've got all the hostiles that we have are all undead from outside. Let's just go back up to the invaders again, and we'll watch and see what actually happens here. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening all at once. The whole of our group has been given the order to kill Bax, which is this guy here. This is Bax Osmagkang. There will be one of these will be the leader of the group. It's a bit hard to sort of tell which one that actually is. One's healthy. What do you got? Shira, yeah, the skilled bowman. Skilled crossbowman, yep, this is okay. If we have a look at our guys, these have been training for a long time. This is a talented hammer dwarf, proficient dodger. So again, not great yet. Like they're not sort of like high level. Let's just step through tick by tick. We can see there goes the bolts. So the bolt's being fired. See, that bolt that was there is still making its way across. Looks like it's going to miss. Firing again. So as I sort of step through the game, they keep on firing. Moved one across. These are all missing. There we go. We've got back over through here, Dragster. So we can see what's going to happen with these as they come forward. So the iron bolts, the silver and copper bolts are making their way forward. Let's have a quick look and see. It's missing. This one here is coming in. Klingzog's going to have to deal with this one through here. So I'll watch and see what actually happens with this one when it does actually hit. So when we go to the next step, so it sort of did actually hit through there. And if we have a look and see what actually happened with his military. So the Hammer Dwarf blocks a flying copper bolt with his steel shield. The flying copper bolt strikes the Hammer Dwarf in the upper arm, bruising the muscle through the steel mail shirt. The force bends the right shoulder. It does do damage. Like it's actually it's quite it can be quite impactful with what it actually does do. I'll just move that one up to the top. There we are. That's okay. So we'll just leave that one where that is, and we've got another one coming in. So when there's a lot of them coming in, they will eventually do damage, and so we do have to be careful of that, and we have to close this gap. So Klingzog and the others, now I don't know why Drags to move backwards. He does need to move in. Let's just keep on going. So they're all moving backwards now. I think they may be dodging. There he goes. Here comes the others. Come on, Dragster. Get into it. That one missed. Another one's firing. Bang. And actually that just chopped off his right ear. All right, so he's been hit in the head. So we've got the Hammer Dwarf jumps away from the flying silver bolt. The flying copper bolt strikes the Hammer Dwarf in the right ear, and the severed part sails off in an arc. So there we go. The copper bolt actually made it past his helmet and did some damage. So we've got Klingzog is now bleeding as well from a head wound. So this is where it gets dangerous. You know, like it's not easy to attack skilled goblins like this. So there we are. So we'll just keep on sort of rushing our way through. I suppose he has a spare. It's a spare ear, you mean? Maybe. Hey, William Chapman, how are you going? And now I'll just read a few more of the comments here while we're still in this middle of this fight. Serene Plague is saying, Daz, I tried the antimatter demo yesterday. From what I understand, it's a solo project and very, very far from finished. From what the developer mentioned, it could be quite some time before it gets done. Yeah, I tried it too, to be honest. I had a bit of a crack at that. To sort of, actually, I better move where my head is. Just let me move that one, and that way we can see what we're working on. That should be safe-ish about there, I think. Yeah, no, I tried the same thing. I tried the same demo. It was interesting. It wasn't as polished as wasn't as even when it's all done. I still don't think it's going to be as polished as I would want in a game. To be honest, this is we're talking about antimatter. It looks interesting, so I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. So we'll have to sort of find out what's going to happen with that one through there. But yeah, it's a bit confusing, but it's still interesting. Like I haven't been able to stop those enemy ships yet. I've got to try to figure out the best way to actually stop the enemy ships from invading Earth. I like that you start off in the action though, so it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look great as well. Yeah, so some places and say it did look promising, but also maybe a bit too big of a mouthful for one. Apparently one of the a few developers, yes. Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry, I've just got the hiccups. So we've got, oh God, I really do have the hiccups badly. At least the helmet may fit better now, says Supreme Plague. Yes, hopefully. Klingsok's not in the chat, is he? No, I can't see him in there. I don't want to sort of rush forward too much because he may die. This may be over and done with. Now, I don't know why Dragster is moving back the other way. Let's just watch what's going on through here. Another one actually hit him. We'll have a look at each of these as they actually come back through. He's retching and vomiting because he's outside. So this is actually, so there are things that are a bit of a problem. So yeah, Silverbolt's missing. Silverbolt the jumps away, so he's dodging his way out, away from everything going. Oh, there's the other one. He then did block a Silverbolt with his steel shield, which is what he sort of needs to be doing. Let's keep it going. Here he goes. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. They're loosing more bolts at him. They're firing very, very quickly. Now there's one more that's actually hit him. Let's go and have a quick look. Strikes a hammer dwarf in the head, but the attack is deflected with his steel helmet. So luckily, they didn't take the left ear. It was the right ear, wasn't it? That got that was a right ear that got hit, and so the left ear is still actually okay. So isn't Klingsok the master carpenter? Is he? Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But he's full-time military now. In we go, in we go, in we go. He's got more coming in. Another one actually hits him. Let's see what happens with this one. They're both hitting him now. We've got splattering of Klingsok's dwarven blood here now. So we'll quick and see what happened with those last two bolts. So the flying copper bolt strikes a hammer dwarf in the head, deflected. We saw that one through there. It does pull his neck. He's then blocked the next two on his shield. Good on you. Copper and silver bolt. As they're firing, they're also going to be then going through their number of bolts. He's down to 23, which is still a hell of a lot. Here comes Supreme Plague now. So what is Dragster doing? Dragster is still just milling around over here. So it really is, and then we've got underneath over through here, we've got Atomic Ant as well making his way out. And then we've got Tun, who hasn't been named, by the way. So if anyone does want to redeem a name and you don't actually have one in the fortress so far, you can grab one there. Now, if any of our dwarves die, if you do a DasDemption and do name any of the dwarves and they die, you get banned for half an hour as punishment for not being good enough. So Incognito saying DFF, is that Dwarf Fortress Friday? Is that what you mean? And Supreme Plague saying line up, make a shield wall and move forward. Well, I think in one sense you want to be off on different angles if at all possible. Now I don't know if the others are being attacked. Here we go. Look, we're getting iron arrows now being attacked from this side as well. We do actually have others. So Tun is coming back out through here. Here comes Lemel. These are both newish recruits, and we have another one down through here. This is Zasset, the Mace Dwarf. We have another one on the stairs. This is Aben. So we've got a fair few of our military dwarves are still inside. They're firing across at Atomic Ant. So we're seeing different, not the bolts so much. When they finish, they'll be sort of locked away like this. But but we are seeing these are now firing as they come down. Items, 33 bolts, and this one's loosing its arrows. Yeah, it's firing the arrows. There's an arrow there just about to hit Dragster. Let's have a quick look and see if Dragster's actually had any issues. Yep, jumps away from the flying arrow. Oh, this is earlier. So he hasn't had anything yet, but the other goblins are now attacking. Let's stay with Klingzog. This, I think, is going to be the most dangerous of the fights, the immediate fights. Moving closer. This is good. This is good. But we need to have a few more here. They're missing. That one hit. Let's have a look and see what happened there. So Silver Bolt strikes the Hammer Dwarf in the head, but the attack is deflected by the Steel Helm. That's lucky. Again, you can see there that if you don't have the equipment, if you don't have all the right equipment, it's going to be dramatically bad. So Zaradin has redeemed a custom reward. Looks like a nice, safe place to live. It is indeed. And if you die, you come back as a zombie. Let's have a look and see. You don't have a dwarf already. Let's just go back to names. Just make sure that Zaradin isn't already in here. No, he's not. So what I'll do is I'll give you one of the actual dwarves. I'll give you one of the ones that's outside, facing the danger. So we have all the others are named except for this one here that are outside. This one here is Tun, who is a talented mace dwarf. So this will become a Zaradin. So we'll just go and rename you Zaradin. There we are, the mace dwarf. So you got skin in the game. Now, even if I tell them to all go and attack the dwarves in the north, the others, I think Supreme Plague and Klingzog will now just keep on going towards those other guys. I do need to have I need everyone really acting properly and moving across, trying hopefully in a bit of a group. I don't like how spread out we are. I wish the Dragster had kept on going, but Supreme Plague is really making good ground here, and so Supreme Plague should actually end up coming back past Klingzog at some point. So let's keep it going. But they are firing at his head, which is not good. They are expert. Looks like they're dodging. Come on, Klingzog. Get a move on. That's missed. He's moved again. That's missed as well. Come on, Supreme Plague has now taken the lead. Now, Supreme Plague, I don't think see how nauseous, dizzy and nauseous. Now, Klingzog's stopped bleeding, so the ear has sort of stopped bleeding through there. William has redeemed one as well. Let's all join this definitely safe fortress. Okay, William, you can have Lemel, the wrestler, is coming back out. We've got a couple of them in here. I'll give you this one here, who is a swords dwarf. This is a adept armor user. This one's fairly new to the military, so still learning his way. So we'll just go this way. This will be William Chapman. William Chapman. There we are. So William Chapman is a good wrestler, but it will eventually become like he's a high master milker, competent blacksmith. So interesting character. So he's actually he's actually newish to the military. So Zaradin they're all moving off now to attack these other ones we gave the order to, even though the other ones are still coming back through. Drax has been hit a couple of times. He blocks the silver bolt, jumps away from the iron arrow. So even the other bolts that are coming back through, I think the silver bolts, these are all coming from the north. And what about Atomic Ant? No, nothing happening there. None of the others will actually have had to deal with this just yet. Cobalt. These were attacking the kobolds back in the day. William Chapman, no history there just yet. And Zasset, who does need to be like this one did actually attack the kobold with the steel mace. Right, so the others, we've still got more coming through. Now, Union ID is, what are you doing? Destroy building, coming in to destroy this store. We actually still have another nameable dwarf in this other side. We were saying, looking forward to the possibility of being banned shortly. So Supreme Plague is saying, do the dodge dance, the dodge dance, Klingzog. I'll try and charge them. So Supreme Plague is moving very, very quickly in through here. Now, Supreme Plague is a legendary observer, adept fighter, talented spear dwarf, talented discipline, proficient army user, but is actually moving quite quickly and is not feeling the effects of being outside. This is the important thing. So, and typically I wouldn't need to be fighting outside. Like once we fix that door, we're not going to have to worry about it. But we did sort of, we ended up, this has been like a series of mistakes essentially that have got us to this position. Essentially because of that one door. That one door, if you watch the end of the last episode, you'll see what I mean. Like the kobolds made it through when my military dwarves were all bunched together, ready to charge down inside the fortress to attack them, but they came through the door, which then meant we had to scramble. We ended up outside, and then we were under attack by the goblins, which we didn't want to have happen. All right, let's keep it going. So the next one, he's jumped out of the way, leaving Klingzog to take the. And Klingzog's now fallen over. When you see the little down arrows, that means that Klingzog. So Supreme Plague jumped out of the way of that last bolt, and Klingzog then took the bolt and is now somehow fallen over. So the bolt strikes the hammer dwarf in the right lower leg, but the attack is deflected. The force pulls the right knee, tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. So even though it actually hit his armor, it still actually did damage to his muscle. A ligament has been bruised and a tendon has been bruised, and the hammer dwarf now falls over. So Klingzog is now on the ground with essentially an ACL type injury to his knee. Like he's actually now got ligament damage, and so he's going to now be struggling to walk. He'll be able to get back to his feet and hobble around, but he's going to be sort of slowing down a fair bit. If we have a quick look and see what's actually happening through here, he's bleeding again with that knee injury. So it's like when they hit hard. Like these are, we really need to try to get them to be on the shield and not on the armor, because they do cause damage. If we have a look at we've got dizzy, nauseous, and bleeding, and he's on the ground essentially. So he's going to be a bit of a target. Supreme Plague has to keep on moving forward and try to get and close in with the goblin, just to stop them from firing all the time. Really need more of them to come back through and sort of do this. Let's just go and have a look. Supreme Plague, they've missed. Come on, Supreme Plague, get a wriggle on. Don't get in front of him. Klingzog's still on the ground. Another one being loosed at him. Now he did take that one. Let's have a look and see what happened with that bolt there. Copper bolt misses, jumps away. Silver bolt misses, blocks it with his steel shield. Perfect. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want. So another one being fired at Klingzog, that's missed again. And we're going to now start to see the fights coming through here. We've already got a splattering of goblin blood. So if we have a look at it from this position, excuse me. So you can see there that he's, like this is all of the bolts that he's fired so far. It seems like there's been a lot more, doesn't it? But we've got the blocks the bolt with the shield, strikes the hammer dwarf in the right upper arm, bruising the muscle through the male shirt. Strikes the hammer dwarf in the right ear, severing the ear. So this is then strikes the hammer dwarf in the head, deflected. The hammer dwarf blocks again with the shield. Shield is the best way for us to tackle these. The copper bolt misses the spear dwarf. Spear dwarf jumps away from the flying copper bolt. Flying copper bolt strikes the hammer dwarf in the right lower leg, and then we've got the spear dwarf blocks the flying copper bolt with the steel shield, and then we now actually have with the spear. you can actually attack at longer range. And so the spear dwarf stabs the goblin crossbowman in the right lower leg with his copper spear, fracturing the bone through the aardvark leather leggings. Now you can see there, these are poor quality leather leggings, so he doesn't actually have metal armor on his lower part, like on his legs, and so we've gone sort of through the leggings there, so straight through and caused big damage. A ligament has been torn, a tendon has been torn. The force twists the right knee, tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. Ligament has been torn, and so this is a lot of damage just done with that one attack with the spear. The goblin crossbowman now falls over, so that one is sort of now out of the action. Sort of. It's still going to be able to fight, but not as effectively. So that was a great attack with Supreme Plague there, right there with that particular one. I'll just go back in and have a look at from Supreme Plague's perspective. Wish I would remember that I've got that on pause. Yep, so there we go. So it's essentially just going through... copper spear has been lodged. Yeah, this was actually back with the kobolds, and now we're back out through here. So Supreme Plague has really been able to move quickly through into the fight, which is great. So let's keep it going. Now they're on top of each other. You can see there that he's now going to keep on going. As I step through each one of these, there's going to be more and more going on. I'll just go and do a bit more. I'll just do a few more hits. Klingzog is making his way across. We now start to see that the goblin has actually now started to there's other problems now sort of happening in through here with the goblin. We saw that there was like he's now bleeding, sickly. If we have a look at his again what's actually happened through here. So he fell over. The spear dwarf then kicks him in the right upper arm, bruising the bone. It twists his right shoulder. The spear dwarf stabs the goblin crossbowman in the right lower arm with his copper spear, fracturing the bone. The force pulls the right elbow. He's still holding on to his crossbow, so he's still actually sort of going. But this is now going to be very, very one-sided. Now, once we go to this melee, so really not going to be a big problem. And so we'll just keep that one where that is. In the meantime. Meanwhile, in the rest of the fights, we have more bolts and things coming back through. We've got Atomic Ant now. If we have a look and see what's happening in through here, still nothing there. We've got Zaradin, again, kobolds that he's actually looking at with what he's actually doing. Actually, Zaradin looks like he got the killing blow with one of the kobolds. So the kobolds, bashes the kobold bowman in the head with his steel mace, and the injured part is crushed. This is actually important. This is one of the things we have to keep a bit of an eye on, is will they come back to life? And Dragster is still moving back towards here. He is dizzy, but I don't know why he's going back inside. What they can do is, if we have a look at his items, he does have Dwarven wine. He's got everything he needs. Like he's got prickleberry to eat and Dwarven wine to drink. So he normally would have 2 wines, but there's only one in there. There's two drinks of wine, so he's drunk one of them. But it's a strange one there as to why Dragster's moving away from the fight, because he has moved backwards away. He is dizzy. If we have a look and see what his thoughts are. Terrified while in conflict, felt loathing being out in the sunshine again. He's afraid after experiencing trauma. They don't like being outside at all. This is actually going to be a problem. And, so afraid, relieving, experiencing trauma. So he did have some trauma at some point. Anyway, we'll just keep it going. Hi, Sev. How are you going? So good evening. How goes the dwarf fortuning? Did the mystery of the new queen get any clearance? Was it a coup? It was basically... what I think happened there with the Queen taking over is that she ended up, essentially there was an opening, and so somebody just stepped up, and she was the one who stepped up. So it's sort of a coup. The kids of the old king were too young. They were 5 years old and 3 years old, I think. So not old enough to become the new monarch. So even though she wasn't related to anyone, she has sort of told everyone she is now the new queen. We've got another crossbow just sort of leasing itself back in through there. They can actually hit the, if we go back into this other side and have a quick look, there was another one that actually did come through. The copper bolts, it's the silver bolts we have to now look at. It's interesting, there was a silver bolt that just got fired and didn't actually hit our guy. If you ever look at the Goblin here, there's a good chance that that bolt did hit him. Now he's in pain, bleeding and pain with different things. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, we're not seeing the silver bolt actually hit him as well. That's okay. Let's just keep it going forward a little bit. Supreme Plague has now moved off the way. Klingsog is still on the ground. So I'll just let it go forward a little bit. There's more attacks going back through. Let's have a look at it from Supreme Plague's perspective. So there's more attacks going in. We've then got jumps out of the way of the silver bolt. That was the one that was fired earlier. I think scratches the crossbowman in the left leg, bends the knee again, stabs the crossbowman in the upper leg. This is the aardvark leather leggings that he's sort of attacking in each case. Artery's been opened in the attack and a motor nerve has been severed. The spear dwarf punches the goblin crossbowman in the right lower leg with his right hand, bruising the muscle through the leggings. Spear dwarf blocks the flying copper bolt, so the goblin on the ground is still firing the crossbows at the. So he's madly sort of winding the winch and getting his crossbow to fire at Supreme Plague. Klingsog should be on his feet fairly soon, I hope, but he is sort of he is prone at the moment while Supreme Plague is sort of doing all of the fighting. Now I'm going to change the order to go and kill this guy. So I'm going to go say attack M the goblin crossbowman, confirm. So that's now going to be the new target. They will still fight this, I think. I don't think they're going to run off, but the others will sort of be streaming in, hopefully a little bit closer now. Here they come, Zaradin and Atomic Ant. We've got Zassit, who can be named. We don't have any new names there. So that one there can be named. We've got William Chapman, and down through here we have Dragster, still making his way back inside. We've got two others that are coming back in as well. We've got Exic and Barn, who can also be named. So we've still got a few more military dwarves. This guy here is now working on the door. The goblins above are getting very close. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the order now to these two. These are sort of getting very close to getting into the fortress. Now there will be fights going on, but let's actually now change it, because actually I will now make this the target. So I'll make it with the crossbowman here. Confirm. And so this is Stossbub, and we also have Expegas back in through there. So these are the two. Now we don't know which of these goblins is the leader of the pack for their attack, but we'll just change that. That way these guys won't keep on streaming across the other attack. They'll now move up to take on these guys. And they will have a lot of them. It's just going to be Supreme Plague and Klingsog on their own dealing with these two. Already a good start here, so I think we can sort of deal with that. But the others should now sort of move in and attack these two and through this other side. To see, we can have a bit of a look to see what's actually happened with these. So they got attacked by chinchilla corpses at one point. And then, yeah, that was actually... Yeah, so that was actually all that we've done there. They certainly have pushed things through, though, haven't they? Yeah, Mace Dwarf blocks the flying copper silver bolt with a steel shield. So nothing much happening with them. They're doing a lot of attacks. You can see there's a bolt there, sort of coming back through. That'll be a silver bolt, I think, being fired at Atomic Ant. Right, so we've still got the two injured citizens. They'll be sort of being looked after. It does take a long time for everything to sort of move. They'll be finishing these off and ignoring this one for now. Actually one thing we haven't done yet is move across to a few things. Let's just go into the Dwarf Fortress wiki and open that one up. And if we have a look at things like silver, for example, because we do have silver bolts coming back through, we'll then get information about the, silver is a mid-value metal useful in weapons, ammunition. So again, the ammunition that we actually are using through here, it'll be fairly soft. It does have this is the actual, the impact strength. Things like this actually have a bearing on how good they actually are in combat. So if we have a look at ammunition, it may sort of tell us the differences. So the bolt has a penetration of 1,000. Actually, the arrows do as well. Blow darts don't. Okay, so it looks like the bows and the bolts actually do similar sorts of damage in through there. The different materials. In practice, the material type heavily affects the effectiveness of bolts, just like melee weapons. Recent dwarf science has observed that ammo made of equal or lesser metal might take over 4 times more ammo to kill the opponent, which is we're using steel. So steel is a much more dense sort of defensive material. So we sort of really have no real problems with that one through there. Anyway, that's sort of where we are there. The other thing we want to open up is we'll just go and it's just, I don't think, forget when we actually got the when we set this all up, but I'll just go back into here, just go into downloads, games, and Dwarf Fortress 2025 Legends Viewer, and we'll just open up the Legends Viewer. So we might as well just get that working as well. I forget when we exported the last, I know it was very recent, it may have been after this actually started. So we've got 304.06.05. Yeah, so this set attack is already going in. So we'll just go and grab this one here. This is the history. This is the legends of what's going on. So this opens up as a in your browser. So I'll explore this one. I'm just going to go and ditch this one because we don't need to delete that bookmark. So we don't need to keep that bookmark because we've got the more recent timing. So this is 2 months further on. This was actually, we exported all this out to see what was happening with the Queen, as to why we got a new Queen that's living in the fortress. It's taking a while there. Really shouldn't be taking that long. Yep, there we go. I'll just explore this one. So, if we have a look at the history, we've got the. If we go look at wars, I forget how to do this one. We've got warfare, battles even, and if we go to the very, very end of the battles, these are all the battles there's been 2,379 battles in the history of the game, but the most recent one should be in here. The Splattered Siege, that'll be it, with four events. I'm assuming that'll be the one. Battle. No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, I'm not sure where we'll find this, to be honest. If we just go back up again. So these are all individual battles. We might have to look at our actual civilization. If we just go back to the societies, historical, the factions and groups. Actually, if I go back to the world, or the map, the world actually probably would be easier. And have a look at our Truthful Tomb. This is the new Queen. So she's in charge. If you have a look and see where she is. So she's the new Queen that we've got. But where is she? If we just go to her location. Member of the site government, the contested hammer. Contested hammer is it's a war graph. Humans. That doesn't make sense. There's some weirdness in this thing. It doesn't seem to sort of really have exactly what we've got. The Palms of Temptation. It doesn't ring true at all. So humans, the Palms of Temptation. So that's the actual War of Striking that is actually coming back through. Yeah, that's just doesn't make sense. Coming back into this one here. So yeah, I'm not seeing much information there. That doesn't look right. This doesn't look right. I won't worry about this. I'm going to have to sort of spend some time trying to figure out what's going on with this. It doesn't, like, that's not humans that we're fighting. It's goblins, and it should tell us who's in charge and what their history is as well. Anyway, let's just go back and sort of just leave that where that is, and maybe if there is information that we do want to be having a look at, we can have a look at it. So I'm just going to go forward a little bit here. Just watch a little bit more attacks going back through. Oh, here we go. So we can now see something has been dropped. It's now seriously injured. So this is Bax, and Crossbow now is on the ground. So he's certainly struggling in through this other side. We can see there stabs the Goblin Crossbowman in the left upper arm. Essentially then loses hold of the crossbow and gives into the pain, so he's now unconscious. Dwarf stabs the Goblin Crossbowman in the head, but the attack is deflected with his the Goblin Crossbowman's helm, copper helm, but does bend the neck. The tendon in the upper spine has been bruised. The Dwarf stabs the Goblin's Crossbowman in the head, again deflected again by the helmet. The force bends the neck, tearing apart the fat. So there'll be a few attacks now going in against the prone Goblin. And this one is now unconscious, so he's now given in to the pain. So that was pretty fast with what's going on through here. So Klingzog still hasn't made it. Luckily, Supreme Plague was here. Now, Supreme Plague himself will have been attacked a few times. We've got Silver Bolt still coming back through. Did hit him in the boot. So he's actually still taking on the attacks over here. We'll just let it go forward a little bit. Missed, and he's now moving after the other one. No, they're moving back in to still attack this guy and jumping out of the way again, so avoiding what's going on. Here comes Klingzog. Klingzog, I think, is still crawling his way across. Jumped out of the way again, so we can see the attack with there we go. So this one is now being killed. I'm not sure who got the killing blow. Let's have a look and see. So stabs the crossbow in the head, but the attack is deflected. So it wasn't Supreme Plague. It's Klingzog. Klingzog came through with one final. So he's on the ground. So he's crawling around on the ground. He's not technically injured, but he's still prone. He's dizzy and nauseous. So we can see from his perspective what actually happened through here. So he's vomiting, and he's can imagine the mess in his helmet with the blood from his ear and so on and so forth. So he's bashed him in the head. Attack is deflected, bashed in the head. So they're going for the headshots here. Bashes in the head with the copper warhammer, bruising the muscle and fracturing the skull. Then we've got bashes in the head again with the hammer, but the attack is deflected by the helmet again, and then finally bashes him in the head with his copper warhammer, bruising the muscle, jamming the skull through the brain and tearing the brain. So hopefully that's enough damage so that this thing won't come back as a zombie. Now the others have now been given the order to go and fire at the others. Let's just go and watch and see what's happened over the other side now. So our guys, oh geez, they've already killed them. So this is all happening in through this other side. So we've actually now got one of them has already come through. Let's go through each of these and just see what this says. So Extic. So these guys, while we were doing that, they've run at these two goblins and met them up here very, very quickly. And so this is their mission is to kill Stosbub, who is still alive. Stosbub is under through here. Let's have a quick look and see what Stosbub is doing. He's now dropped his bow as well. He's winded and bleeding. Let's have a look and see what's going on with this one through here as well. So if we go back to his history, and we'll just go up a little bit. So a lot happens, and I haven't even let the game go out of pause. I'm actually going through 1/30th of a second every time I press the full stop key. So Yep. So the Mace Dwarf bashes the. So this is actually where they finally they rush up to him. The Mace Dwarf bashes the bowman in the right leg, bruising the bone. He falls over. Mace Dwarf jumps away from a copper arrow, jumps away from a copper arrow again. And then Uspaz then sort of yells out, "So easily broken, begone fear." The Mace Dwarf bashes in the upper arm, force bends the left shoulder, blocks. So one of the Mace Dwarf. So I don't know if that's X6 that we're looking at the moment. Actually, no, we don't know who that actually is. We'll have a look in just a minute. Mace Dwarf bashes the Goblin Bowman in the head, steel mace bruising the fat. Through the iron helm. So the iron helm, they've got an iron helmet which is protecting them. That's actually not as good as steel, but it's up there. The force bends the neck, tearing apart the fat. Goblin Bowman loses hold of the iron bow. Goblin misses the Mace Dwarf, so now using fists to fight back. Kicks the Goblin Bowman in the right lower leg. So this one's not going to last very long. Kicks the Goblin Bowman in the right arm. And so on and so forth in through there. Let's go back out from this one and have a look at each of these. We've got William Chapman is back up through this other side. Let's have a look and see what William's been doing. So stabs the crossbow. Stabs the crossbow. This is the one that got killed. The crossbow goblin was the one that was killed. So he actually stabbed the lower arm with his steel short sword, and the severed part sails off in an arc. So there'll be a goblin hand somewhere out here. Now that will come back to life, by the way. The wrestler slashes the goblin crossbowman in the right foot and tearing apart the muscle through the jaguar leather low boot. An artery has been opened. So this is actually doing very, very well here. The wrestler jumps away from the silver bolt. Wrestler, so they're still firing back. Still can fire back even though its hand has been chopped off. Slashes the goblin crossbowman in the right lower leg, the severed part again. So it's now lost a limb. That'll come back to life as well. Slashes the goblin crossbowman in the left upper arm with a steel short sword, and the severed part sails off. Jeez, he's really smashing this one through. It does it again through there. Stabs the goblin crossbowman in the right arm. Just chopping bits and pieces off it, left, right, and centre. Goblin crossbowman misses the wrestler, and then slashes in the upper arm with his steel short sword, and severed part sails off on an axe. So he has literally just sliced this thing, sliced and diced. Goblins is what we've done with William Chapman. So William Chapman is the one that's right on top through here, attacking this one with the crossbow. So he's been attacking that one the whole time. This one now has died, but we can't see the history from that particular one. We have to find out who actually got the kill. So William Chapman did a great job. Then we've got Exic back down through this other side. Let's have a look and see what's happening through this other side. So stabs the goblin crossbowman in the left lower leg, tearing the muscle. Motor nerve has been severed. So that was actually early-ish on. Then we've got another one through here. This is a barn. So wrestler slashes the goblin crossbowman in the right upper leg with the steel sword, tearing apart the muscle through the leggings. The leggings then breaks apart, and the Nightwing leather trousers break apart. So he's actually ripped his clothes off. That was crossbowman again. Wrestler stabs the goblin crossbowman in the head. There we go. He's actually chopped a head off. So this is the one that is a barn. Who was the only one that's left that isn't actually named. So and then we've got Zaradin. Did Zaradin get involved? We've got yes, here we go. So we've now got the jumped away from a copper arrow. Kicks the goblin bowman. This is the one that's left in this area, bruising the bone. Force bends the right knee. Bashes the goblin bowman in the right lower leg with the steel mace, fracturing the bone, and pulls it apart and through there. So you can see our steel, and we've still got Zasset as well. Actually, this one can also be named. So we'll have a look back and through this other side. Jumps away from the copper arrow, bashes the copper bob. So this is the main one that's been attacking the bowman. So there we go. In the left, is there more above that one? Yeah, there's a bit there, a little bit more. Anyway, just goes back through. Bashes the goblin bowman in the head. tearing apart the fat. So I think at that stage, this is the Mace Dwarf blocks blocks one of the arrows there, but it does drop its bow in this point in here somewhere, I think. So that's the fight so far. Now what we should find here, back over here, this is all of the stuff that William Chapman did. So we've got, this is Stowsub's right lower arm, which is splattered with goblin frozen blood. So that's the right lower arm that's been chopped off over through here, and in through here we have a whole lot of stuff. So we have all of the equipment is now on the ground. There's his right lower leg. So William Chapman is the one that's actually done all the damage in through here. So we've got right lower leg, left upper arm, and then we actually have the mangled, mutilated body. But there should also be the head. Where is it? It's not over there, I don't think. No, it definitely will be here. See how if I hover over there, it does have it under the mutilated corpse. We actually do see Stowsub's head. So he was beheaded by William Chapman. All right, so well now sort of maybe just watch it from this one's not going to last very long at all. So let's just go back across to Uxpaz, and yeah, we still got Stowsub was the order. Let's go back to now killing. I'm going to tell them to go and kill the other goblin. And confirm. So back to going for M again. These guys are engaged, so they won't leave this fight. So what we can do is we can go now into the and grab the goblin, and we can just watch the rest of this from this perspective. If I go and unpause, if I go and click on this one here, so I can pause it, I can then just go and press the space bar. Yep. So this will be the with the steel mace fracturing the bone. So this is sort of every action that takes place is now just going to be pausing after something actually happens. We've got that was through the right foot. He loses hold of his glove, so the glove has been ripped off through this other side. So that's and then slashes the goblin bowman in the left lower arm. Severed part. So this is William Chapman. God, he's good at chopping pieces off dwarves, isn't he? Now all of these little things will come back to life. They're not going to be super dangerous, but they will come back to life. And so ultimately we'll probably need to be around for a little while these things are sort of outside. Keep on going. So the goblin bowman strikes the mace dwarf, but the shot is blocked, so it's still flailing around. Yeah, there we go. The other glove has now come off as well. So you're sort of dropping things left, right, and centre. The swords dwarf stabs the goblin bowman in the right lower arm, and the severed part sails off on an arc. That's not. I think the wrestler where we see the short sword is William Chapman. The other one is, I'm not sure who that one actually is. Slashes again and sails off in an arc. So this is the upper leg. This one really doesn't have much more hope. So misses. Bashes into the body. It's now an unrecognisable mass. An artery has been opened in the attack. This is a mace dwarf, so has strikes the goblin bowman in the neck. Yeah, there we go. Smash into the body. So the actual is basically sort of they're just pummeling this thing now. This may be a kill. Nope, it's still alive. I think we can you can see its teeth are now all over the place as well. I think we just leave that one alone for a minute and go back to the others. So let's go back now and see what's happening back on the other fight. Back over here. So these guys are now needing to close the gap to M. There's not going to be any real problem back over this way. In the meantime, we've only got one more injured citizen. So if we go back and have a look, it's just Mayfall, the dwarven child, with his mum has now brought him back into here. This one here has now been, so Toulon the bowyer has now been fixed up with his arrow wounds, so he's just sleeping essentially, but will possibly have had already in the meantime. If we have a look at health and then treatment, so there's still a lot of stuff that needs to happen in there. There's one of the doctors, Bjolf, the chief medical dwarf, is just attending to that one, while Mayfall, the dwarven child, is still seriously injured. So we'll need to be one of the doctors will have to come and help out there. Anyway, let's go back up the top again, and this door is now being removed. Just got to be careful that these goblins don't come back to life. So we let's just go and now watch what happens in through here. So I'll just start to press the full stop key again and just move forward. Here we go. Missed Klingzog as well. And we'll just watch until we see some action. There we go. He's already been disarmed by Supreme Plague. So Supreme Plague is actually, he's got already heavy bleeding. Let's have a look and see what actually happened in through here. So so the Spear Dwarf blocks the Silver Bolt with his steel shield. And then the Crossbowman says, "Death, I feel very uneasy." He says that a couple of times. And then the Spear Dwarf stabs the Crossbowman in the left hand, tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. Artery's been opened in the attack, ligament has been torn. The Force pulls the left wrist and essentially then loses hold of the iron crossbow. So just one little attack there from Supreme Plague. The copper spear has been lodged firmly in the wound. And so what we'll find here is that the... now, who are we following here? Is that the... let's just go from this perspective. And we'll just go and I'll just unpause that bit by bit. Pulls on the spear and then gains possession of the spear again. So he's now got the spear back again. Crossbow strikes at the Spear Dwarf, but the shot is blocked. There we go. It stabs the Goblin Crossbowman in the right lower arm, fracturing the bone. Many nerves have been severed, so that's all going very, very well. Says, "I've been injured badly. There is no hope." No, there isn't any hope. And misses the Spear Dwarf. We're under siege, by the way. This is a Goblin siege that we're sort of attacking. Misses the Spear Dwarf. Yeah, we've got more going in through there. That's all good. And so the Spear Dwarf charges the Goblin Crossbowman. The Goblin Crossbowman looks surprised by the ferocity of the Spear Dwarf's onslaught. Spear Dwarf collides into the Goblin Crossbowman and is then knocked over. The Goblin Crossbowman does manage to stand up, strikes the Spear Dwarf, but the shot is blocked yet again. Stabs the Goblin Crossbowman in the right lower arm with his copper spear. The injured part is cloven asunder. So that's an arm that's now been broken. And then the Force pulls the right elbow. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. This thing's not going to be able to fight for much longer. Strikes the Spear Dwarf, but the shot is blocked. Loses hold of his glove. Again, stabbing at the right hand. Severed part now sails off in an arc. Misses. The Force, yeah, just twisting different things in through here as well. Okay, he's no longer stunned, but he's missing again with his fighting. Stabs a Goblin Crossbowman in the left upper arm with the copper spear. Back in through that other side. And again, charges, that knocks him over. Scratches the Crossbowman in the left hand. So this fight's going on for a bit longer than the other ones have. Yep, so we've got the in the right lower arm. So this essentially is going to be, this one will end up losing. So they're moving around a little bit. Klingzog's still trying to crawl his way over. So Klingzog is still dizzy and nauseous and really just not in any capable way of really assisting in the fight, although he did kill off that one there, I think, in the end. We might just unpause because really there's nothing that these guys can do. I think that where this one's tired, heavy bleeding, how's Supreme Plague going? Still not a problem in the world, even though he's been running around all over the place. Klingzog is just dizzy and nauseous because he's outside in the sunlight and in the goo. If we have a look at the items, this one does actually have steel mail. Sorry, that's us. This one here has got the iron breastplate, which is actually going to give him good protection. Copper helm, going to give him a bit of protection. So he's got a little bit of stuff there that we have to get through. So William Chapman's saying, I just had a petition from my dwarves to create a temple for a religion that does... does anyone know how to look up information about a specific religion? All I know is its name and its members. I'm assuming I can find it in the legend. Yes, you can. Yeah, you'll find the actual the deity in there. You can find out the deity as well in the game itself. So let's go and have a look and see how we're going back over here again. So we have teeth everywhere, goblin teeth. We've got mutilated corpses. So they're all sort of now finished. We do actually have... all our dwarves are all together at this one location. That's all okay. They've sort of now finished off that particular goblin. Nothing else has come back to life yet. Now, what are you doing? What are you doing? It is safe. So even though Zon, the peasant, is heading off to do something, normally, and maybe, no, that should be locked. I'm going to unlock that one now because it's now safe-ish to go out here. If these come back to life, we've got some problems. Let's just go and unpause and just watch what actually happens now with our military. We've only got one more to kill off. There we go. That's now been killed, and so I'll just let that run forward again. Let's just see if Klingsog got the final killing blow. Yep, there we go. So the last thing there, the Hammer Dwarf bashes the Goblin crossbowman in the head with his copper warhammer. The injured part is crushed. So even though he's on the ground, like on his knees, crawling around in the goo, he's vomiting everywhere. He's lost his ear. That's his ear back over here. Klingsog's right here. And he's but he's still getting in and just getting these killing blows in. If we have a look at Klingsog's, he's got no activity now because we've now finished everything we had to do. If we go and have a look at his military and kills, this is everything that he's done. So so this is all the stuff that he's actually killed. So all these different zombies. So he's had a lot, 12 kills. So he's doing quite well in terms of the kill count, including 2 male goblins in Twinkling Hammer. So that's all good stuff. The Supreme Plague, we might as well look at a few of these, the ones that have been around for a while. So yeah, mainly just zombies. So there's 3 notable kills actually. So we've got Frenzy Tax. So these are the named characters. So he's actually killed a few zombie, like in the early days, a few zombie dwarves. Back into here, some of the others that have come back to life. So, and then we've got these are zombie dwarves that have killed other creatures, and then these are the ones that haven't killed anything at this stage. So that's actually interesting to see. All right, so our guys have now finished doing what they're doing outside. This one is moving off to get something else. Now we may end up with stuff coming back to life back out here. Where are you heading? There will be something that will have been dropped. Won't be the ear. No one will want that, I don't think. Including Klingsog. So yeah, they've got 2 injured citizens. Oh, there we go. So Klingsog is now considered injured. That's interesting. Seriously injured. Ability to stand has been lost. His first finger left hand is broken. His first finger left hand is smashed open. His neck is torn open. His right arm is bruised. His right ear is gone. There we go. He is absolutely inexhaustible, quite durable and strong, but he's quite susceptible to disease, and he doesn't like being outside. So he has taken a bit of damage in through here. It's funny, it's not telling us there about why he can't walk. But anyway, he is considered to be seriously injured. We've still got this one here, which is injured as well. Let's just go back up the top and just watch and see what happens with Klingsog. So I've got the game not paused. Here comes the others. They're picking up bits and pieces. Come on, Klingsog, make your way inside, please. Here we go. Got the Goblin left lower arm is now fighting as well. So we have a bit of a look at the where this is happening. So these things are coming back to life, and so we've got citizens now coming back outside. We've got a cat that's now come back outside as well. So these are all going off to pick up stuff that has been dropped. I'll let that happen. We will find the stuff that's been chopped off will come back to life. It's not going to be dangerous though, so we don't have to worry about it too much. Yeah, they're moving off to grab things. Bring them inside. Now there's a pool of vomit there. Let's go and add in. We've got the chert block there. I'm just going to go and replace where that door was now. So we'll just go back across. We've got 3 injured citizens now. Okay, somebody else has been injured. Let's have a look and find out what's going on. goblin head has come back to life. So it's going to be there rolling around biting things. So yeah, this is one reason that you don't really want to have slicing things off in a zombie zone. So in a reanimating zone, which is what we're in, is that when you do equip them with swords, they will chop bits and pieces off, which will come back to life. But it's not usually super dangerous. We may have to go and have a look to see what there is, and then just go and kill it with our military dwarves while they're still sort of outside and around. All right, let's just go and fix this up while we're here. So we'll just go back into constructions. This will be the walls and chert blocks. That will then mean that this will become, anything that comes into the fortress will then have to go back through, not just taking a shortcut. That will end up being something where they have to then make their way down into the actual fortress itself. So that will then completely change what's happening. Here comes Supreme Plague already. The others are already back in through here. A lot of them are vomiting because they haven't been able to take being outside in the goo and also just being outside in general. So a lot of them are sort of throwing up. So there's going to be a vomit all the way through to their barracks. So the barracks are sort of fairly close to the front of the fortress. Let's have a look at the hostiles and just see if there are any still on the top. These are all the undead underground. Got heaps of them down in here. Yeah, it looks like that's about it, really. Yeah, they're nothing above ground at this stage. Right, let's have a look at our injured citizens. So we've got Klingzog. Oh, this one is now considered injured again. The Toulon back in through this other side, and then the kid back over this way. So you can see there all the bits and pieces left over from what's going on. Let's just watch what happens. We've got it's raining abhorrent goo outside. Klingzog has become a doctor, even though he's badly injured. Performer has grown attached to a Gabra figurine. That's okay. Leave that one through there. Just get rid of that. And just wait for more stuff to actually happen. So we've got interrupted by combat. Falcons, the doctor cancels. Needs chert. Okay, that's all right. That's fine. We'll just leave that where that is. All right. So everything is that was good. Now what's this guy? Oh, it's ghostly human maceman. Okay. So we do actually have Tal. Is a ghost that's come back to life and is now haunting the fortress. So Tal died in the fortress. I don't even know how he died, to be honest. I never really found out. So I'm going to set up like another. We need to go and make another one of these for him. I don't know if there's any others we've got. Let's have a quick look and see. If we just go back into furniture and slabs. There's one to Sev. Let's just go and place that one. If they've been carved with names, I might as well put them out. So slabs. These are people who have died in the fortress, and we'll just keep on building afterwards. Church to orangutans. Yep. We'll just go and do that one as well. Syrian. These are, I think we've already had these done once before. If we go and do one to Tal, I don't know if we can do this, but let's just go down into our fortress and go to where we've got our workshop layer. Got more stone workshops. Add new task. So if it's got slab engraved, it means we don't need to do it. These are the stuff that we've actually killed, but we're looking for Tal. Tal Etherdet, that one there. So not memorial, there's no slabs engraved. So just go that way. And we'll make that the most important. So we'll just go and get that one done. So somebody will come in and engrave that particular memorial, and then we'll just leave that one where that is. Okay, so that's now all been done. Still got all the hostiles down below. I think we'll just go up and watch Klingsog hopefully get rescued. Or recover wounded. So author ratio is going to go and grab Klingsog. There he goes. Been carried back down into... Whoops, just dropped him off. No job. Why is that? Stress. Doesn't like being out here. Why would you drop that and then run over this way? It's not carrying anything. Okay, the captain of the guard, Iritum, has come out to recover the wounded this time. Come on, pick him up. Now, what was that? When you see people running away like this, it's likely that there's been something else that's come back to life. Back up this way. It's DasTactic. DasTactic Beast Rooms. 15 years old. Almost going to be an actual member of the fortress now. So something happened where they got freaked out. It's got no job. Yeah, maybe it's not really going to be a big problem. Let's just go and watch these come back through. Yeah, what's he doing? It's Klingsog. Seriously, what the hell? Oh, there's something coming to life in here. Here we go. we've got a mutilated corpse, a kobold mutilated corpse has come back to life. This is where they scare everything gets scared off. All right, back to the military. Kill this thing off and confirm. So we just need to clean these things out. So we'll just get these things going. What I might do is actually start doing a patrol, just because there's sort of all this dead stuff inside. Let's go and clear out all the mess. So we've got like a lot of mess in through here. You can sort of see there with the goblin corpse and stuff like this. So things like the goblin corpse, I'm going to go and get rid of that. So let's just go and we'll just manually go through each thing. This tunic is in bad repair, but it's still worth a bit, so we'll keep hold of that. We'll just go and make that so it can be stored. We've got iron arrows. We'll store those as well. The jute quiver is fine. We'll keep that. And the copper bow we'll keep as well. So we'll just go and undo all those, but I'm going to tell them to dump the corpse, so that corpse can be dumped. Back over through here, we have a chinchilla leg. We'll get rid of that. Back over here, we have an iron bow, which we will grab. Again, it's worth 100. So I might as well make use of this stuff. Rope reed quiver is fine. We'll make use of that. The copper arrows, we'll make use of those. The tunic worth 30. It's in bad repair, but we'll still go and grab it. Mangled right hand, we'll dump that one. And if I've got and then we've got a left hand in through there as well. We'll just go and this is Tumbin's left hand. Who's Tumbin? It does have Coben. It does have Kobold Frozen Blood. Is the other one named? Oh, yeah, this is the name of the goblin. Sorry, the kobold that was that's probably Tobin's corpse down there, I would guess. Kobold mutilated corpse. So even though it's mutilated, it's still actually active and it's still fighting Union ID, the Weaver. It shouldn't be able to do much because it has been so badly damaged. Back out through here, we have another mutilated corpse. We'll just go and grab that one. So ideally, we want to crush the corpses. That one's worth 60. Whoa, iron arrows worth 1,000. Grab those. The linen quiver, grab that as well, and copper bow, we'll grab that. So we'll just go and start to sort of pick up the bits and pieces in through here. All the stuff out this way as well. Like there is a lot of crap out this way. So this is left lower arm. Look, I won't clear out too much of that. There's a lot of iron arrows back out this way. I think what I might do is I'll just leave that where that is. All of these dead things out here, I'll probably just leave them out where they are, I think. So we won't worry about them. That's a lot of stuff now outside. It's just such a shitty place that we have. So the others are now rushing away from something that came back to life. Yeah, from that one there. So let's just watch what happens here from the front. So they've jumped in. Now Union ID is now seriously injured as well. So what happened there? So the kobold mutilated corpse kicks the weaver in the head, bruising the muscle. Actually, that went on even further than that. So it starts all the way up through here. Essentially, I won't go through the whole lot, but we'll just see we'll see the big things. So the mutilated corpse bites the weaver in the lower body, bruising the kidney. The weaver is in yelling up. It's attacked by the dead. This is truly horrifying. Which does freak them out. They end up being a bit more unhappy as these sorts of things actually happen. So the weaver vomits and retches. Weaver does punch it in the head. Continues on through. It bites the weaver in the head. So the undead will try to kill anything that they attack. Weaver breaks the grip. So anyway, just keep on going through. There's a lot of fighting that goes on here, like a hell of a lot. The weaver's punching back at different times. But we can see where the damage actually is. Weaver looks even more sick. So there's been, the corpse kicks the weaver in the lower body with that sort of stuff in through there. Managed to get a kick in through there. But the other one that came in is this one through here. This is Neemst, the farmer, who ended up doing the killing blow. If you have a look at Neemst's attack, so Neemst sort of does come through here, striking the kobold corpse in the head. So came to the rescue essentially. So came back out and just attacked it in the end until it essentially collapses. It smashes it in the head and the injured part collapses. So that one's can also be picked up and thrown away. So when something comes back to life like that, it's 3 times as strong as its living counterpart, which is why it can do so much damage. Let's have a look and see what's happening. Overexerted, winded, and seriously injured. If we have a look at the health and then go to description, right lower arm is broken. So that little kobold corpse did a lot of damage. A lot of damage. It's mainly sort of bruising and broken bones. So Union ID has certainly taken a bit of a beating there. Looks like he's lost his clothes as well. If we have a look at the items, what have we got left? Not much. So all his clothes have been ripped off. He's still wearing socks and shoes, but that's about it. He does have a mudstone earring. He's wearing his gloves as well and a cap, but no trousers or shirt. So he is they've all been ripped off him in that with the zombies. The zombies literally taken all his clothes off, which is quite funny. Brian Reeves is saying fresh run. No, this is the old fort. We're still going strong with this. We're going very strong. We've got 100 population now, which is fantastic. So we've got ourselves the Dwarven Queen is now living here as well. All right, so so that one's now going to have to be rescued as well. Let's just go back and have a look at the Klingzog. Where'd they run off to? There's a chinchilla corpse back out through there, another undead. That's just a head. And there's Zulban, one of the miners, up this way as well. The heads and things won't do a real lot of damage. Where's Klingzog? Did Klingzog make it through? No, still outside. and has now been Eratum has now left him alone. This is way up at the top of the fortress. So who's going to come and pick up Klingzog? Klingzog's way up here. They've run away from that fight, and they're miles away from where they have to be. They have to get all the way back to here. Poor old Klingzog. I think we'll watch what happens with Klingzog. You can see there's a lot of stuff fighting down below, but then we do actually have the chinchilla head and the miner are fighting. The farmer is fighting as well. So again, these don't have any real special orders to do. I'm not going to worry about that head. Let's just leave it where it is. Just leave it there. And I guess we'll just watch Klingzog for a little while. Are you coming back to help? No, he's going off to clean himself. He's now tired. Now, what are you fighting? Well, it's just retching. Yeah, it's just vomiting. And the miner is going after the yeah, that's okay with the chinchilla head. That's all right. We won't worry about that. Yeah, running away now from that chinchilla head. I'm not going to worry about the chinchilla head. It's not going to be something that we have to concern ourselves with too much. Here's poor old Klingzog. Dizzy, seriously injured. The farmer. Now, why is the farmer fighting? Yeah, that was back down in here. I think everyone's okay. Yeah, we'll just get all the stuff actually happening in through this other side now, and just allow it all to come good. We do need to find somebody who's going to go and pick up poor old Klingzog. If we go back to the actual labour menu, actually not the labour menu, not the work orders either. Sorry, the task menu. Just get rid of that. And eat, sleep, place in tomb. Might have a look and see what that is. This is Sev, the Hammer Dwarf's deceased body. This is old. But that should be locked. Yeah, that's been forbidden. So there's nothing really to do there. Nothing we have to worry about. The ghost is still down in here. The Mace Dwarf is sparring, that's okay. Becomes a wrestler. Yeah, I'll wait until we sort of see some other undead before we worry too much about anything else. But we do need to find. There should be a pick up the injured. Recover wounded. There we go. So Sev is heading out to pick up that one, and also Kivish is as well. Oh, there's Kivish there. So Kivish is now that's not the right Kivish. This is Sev down through here to go and recover wounded. Back up this way, just to go and pick this one up. And we should find another one as well. That's now been blocked off. This is now secure. So who is going up to pick up Klingzog? Poor old Klingzog. That's Eratum just going off to clean himself. Here comes the head rolling around, and then Klingzog's still way back up here somewhere. Where is Klingzog? Oh, cool. What we've got here is we've got the some of our wild boars, which are trained, have now given birth to giant wild boar piglets. So we've got 2 more piglets. And we're wanting this to be a big source of leather for us. So we've sort of got like we caught some of the wild boars and then we trained them. And when they're trained, they can still revert back to their wild state, which aren't dangerous so much, but they're but in this case we've got a couple of trained trained wild boars, which have actually now sort of come back through. Would they be boars or sows? Anyway, whatever they are. They've given birth to a couple of piglets, so we can have a look at that. And so they'll be in here. So there'll be a couple of piglets like in through this other side. We see how we've got like the that's a giant boar piglet there which is trained. They should actually. There's a piglet there as well which is trained. They're coming in trained already. This one here is tame. I thought that they'd come in as tame, to be honest, rather than trained. Anyway, that's fine. That's not really a problem. We'll just leave that where that is. We'll just go back up the top. And yeah, just trying to think. We've got like this is now the main way through for everyone to access the fortress. Now that we've sort of locked off the top, but the with what we end up having through here, yeah. So he's now dragging that one through. Who's going off to get Klingzog? Yeah, that one's moving back. Zulbin going back to clean herself off. And then we've got poor old Klingzog over here somewhere. He really can't do anything. There he is. Yeah, so someone's on the way. He's not thirsty yet, which is the important thing, like thirsty or hungry. So, so we'll just keep that one sort of going back through. Will that ear come back to life? No, that's too small. Things like teeth and ears and stuff won't, but limbs and stuff will. Let's just go and wait for Klingzog to be picked up. Somebody's definitely on the way. Caravan has arrived. Now it is early autumn. This will be this is going to be a Dwarven caravan, which is going to be good. So this is good stuff. So from Osiraxkut has arrived. Now that's interesting because this is now where we are. Is Twinkling Hammer is now the capital city of our Dwarven population because the Queen is here. But this has arrived from a place called Osiraxkut. So I'm just going to go and click on OK and then just pause again, and we'll have a look and see where they come in. So. Oh, Union ID has been found dead. Now that's a problem because now is Union ID in the chat. Union ID didn't make it, so so unfortunately we've now lost one of our dwarves, and I can't see Union ID in the chat there. So I can't ban him because he's now succumbed to his wounds with everything that's actually gone and happened there. So we'll just go back and have a quick look at the corpse. Now this is definitely going to come back as a zombie, like absolutely, because it didn't take enough damage. That means that we're going to have some big problems here. So what we need to do is we need to go and make sure our military is ready for this. And I'm just going to go and have them literally stand here in the corner and kill this one when it does happen. So there's a whole series of stuff that we can set up with our military. They're just doing constant training, but we can give them orders to go and patrol the fortress, and I think it's almost important that we start to do that one fairly soon. But let's just go across and give them a station order, and we'll just get them to station themselves just on this corner here. Now, actually, that's not really a great spot for it. Our best spot is here, actually down here somewhere. So I'm going to get them to congregate on that location underneath. The way that works, if I put them a station there, that they can go anywhere within 3 of that. So 1, 2, 3. So they've got like a fairly large area that they can congregate in. And so if I place it there, there's actually 1, 2, 3. They can actually end up being on the inside here and not able to go where I want them, which is out here. So it's safer for me to place them under here, where they essentially can only really be on that ramp. So we'll leave that one through there. The caravan has arrived. Let's have a look and see where that is. It's coming in from the side, pretty much where the attacks have come in. So they're still only bringing in yak cows and stuff. They're not bringing in actual caravans yet, which is interesting. And the outpost liaison Zon Meslogum has arrived from Osiraxkut. So Osiraxkut must still be a very important city for us. And Union ID has been found dead. That's interesting. lot happening. There's a lot happening in this fortress. And so there will be like diplomacy which will take place. So we'll get all the information. Anyway, so we do need to come back up because this thing will come back to life. Here they come. Our guys are standing back. Falcons cancels the engraved memorial. Okay, so we need an unengraved slab. In that case, I mustn't have work orders for slabs, I'm guessing. So I'm trying to have a bit of a look and see if I can see anything there with rock slabs. We do have rock slabs. We make one at a time, and we need at most 2. Alright, so it looks like we've been carving those. We're going to need more. I'm going to change the number to 4. And so yeah, we do need to get these things done because Union ID is now going to need burial. Actually, burial probably will be enough. Our military is now all standing here, which is where we want them. Let's just go and pause. Now there's somebody's now gone and grabbed the corpse. So let's haul Union ID's corpse. So the corpse is now being placed below, like that's now being hauled. So let's go and follow this one because this is likely where things are going to go bad. So it's going to store it in a corpse stockpile initially, and then so it's now being brought into the fortress, which is actually important that we do this. But now that now means that we need to move our military down with this and escort it down to the to where that's going to go. Is that the corpse stockpile? Yeah, we can see there's things, for example, like anything that needs to be hauled will be hauled into here. So this is actually a corpse stockpile into this side. If you have a look at the custom, so it's just any corpse is going to end up there. So what we'll do in here is actually go and now send our military down to this side. So let's just go and tell them go to here, guys. So click on the map. All right, so just get them to move down with it. They're washing off all the goo, like everyone that's been outside. Now Klingzog is still outside. Rock doors are complete. We've got this chert block order. I don't need any more chert blocks actually. I'm going to ditch that order. So we did have an order in here for making chert blocks. So I'm just going to go and grab that one and delete it. We did that one so we could build the outside of the fortress. So I'm just going to go yes and proceed, or I can even I might go yes, proceed. Just go and get rid of that one, just so it doesn't keep on coming up as an order for them to do. Right, let's go back up and see if we can spot Klingzog. Still there, still there. It's got the station order. Yeah, unfortunately, they're just leaving Klingzog outside. And this is a bit of a problem. I think I'm going to have to let my military go at some point, and just so they can come back and pick up Klingzog. Everything else is looking pretty good there. Well, let's just get everyone downstairs. All right, so we've got the few different things. Chinchilla Head is fighting. The Spinner is fighting. The Swords Dwarf is fighting as well. Yep, so the right hand, where was that? That was out here. Oh, this is actually the Swords Dwarf coming in with the others. So they're actually attacking the undead that's outside there as well. That one, those little things, like the hands and things, won't last. This is where things were chopped off. We need to get Klingzog back. He's just not able to move. I'm worried about this because I don't think I can actually... There's still nothing terribly bad with him. It's not a massively bad damage. I'm going to have to get everyone off the station orders before we can sort of do too much else. We do have a few open coffins. So this is E2's mangled skeleton. Just lock that one down. It's Began's skeleton. One of many deaths. Yeah, I'm going to have to get going fairly soon, but yeah, I would like to try to solve this Klingzog problem before we do anything. Now the corpses, if we go back and have a look at this, is an empty one. This is resting place of von Schweinhund, but it's no longer needed. There's Union ID's tomb. Still got a few unnamed tombs there. All right, so Union ID ultimately will be placed in here. So that's actually where Union ID will end up. So we'll leave that one where that is. And so at least we've got that one sorted. Military is now coming back through. There goes Erratum. Coming back in is now Dizzy. God, is anyone going to pick up with the tasks? So if you're not showing it, it's because the military have all been placed in the you know, to essentially just not have the military's now got orders, which means that people won't come in and help them, and so I'm going to take the risk here and actually go and cancel all their orders and just let things actually happen. Swords Dwarf is fighting. That's okay. So Klingzog has now become a doctor, and we should now get an order to go and pick him up. What's the spinner doing? Oh, chinchilla. This is the head. That's outside. So that's the chinchilla mangled head now. Is anyone going to pick up Klingzog? There he is, just waiting to be picked up. So what we'll do is, again, we'll just have a quick look and see if I can find the, not so much that one, this one here. Looking for somebody who can pick up, recover wounded, Kivish. The stone carver, where are you? Okay, Kivish, let's watch you. Hopefully this time I'll get it done. Yep, so we've got Klingzog. In we go, in we go. So down to the hospital and place it in a bed. There we are. Right, job done. So Klingzog is... Oh, that's okay. That's the wheel armour. That's inside. I've got no problem there. Merchants have arrived on unloading their goods. Okay, the toasted the queen. Actually, we haven't got... The queen hasn't been named either. we've got a queen that can be named. Yakakau here is fighting. I'm not going to worry about that one. That's just been shorn and then come back to life. Yep, smelt native gold ore is fine. That's okay. We're actually slaughtering the piglets as well. So we're actually sort of so we're killing off the piglets to make leather. Just got to do them quickly. And so if we have a look at that, that's just happened back in through here. If they do come back to life, which we're not seeing anything alive in through there, it should then be picked up. But we do actually have these weapon traps with battle axes and things to kill anything that comes back to life in through there. Where the hair comes back to life is in this way. So we can see the cow mangled hair. When we shear animals, they come back to life down in this farmer's workshop. So I could put a whole lot of different traps in around the farmer's workshop because they do come back to life when we shear them. It might be an idea actually. We just picked up, we didn't pick up anything really sharp from any of those other attacks. So I think I'll wait till I get a few other things. I've got 47 hostiles, 1 injured citizen, which is just going to be Klingzog, so he'll be looked after, which will be good. She's now made mandates and different things. Let's go and check that out before we do too much else. We haven't set up her rooms properly yet. Yeah, make two bucklers. Okay, so we're going to have to make a couple of bucklers here. I'm not really interested in the bucklers, to be honest, but I will actually go and just go and make a couple of them. I think I might make them out of metal. So we'll just come back down into the bottom of the fortress. We're getting all the gold is now being sort of chewed up. So we've used that with like the stuff for her. You can see their gold weapon racks, gold armor stands, stuff like this, which we want for her stuff. This is going out a new task. And armor. This will be. I do have iron. I do have steel. Look, I'll make a couple of steel bucklers. Armor, steel, buckler. There we are. These are smaller than shields. I prefer the shields, but the buckler will just be a little bit smaller. So we'll still go and build both of those. That's the mandate. And looking at the time, I'm going to have to get going, actually, guys. Sorry. So we've done a bit of attacking on the outside. We lost one dwarf, which isn't too bad at this particular location. So this is so we're doing fairly well there. But yeah, everything's going fairly smoothly at this point in time for us. We've still got a lot of work to do. Like we do need to go and sort of deck out everything that she needs. Got a lot of zombies on that layer. So we just come back up through the fortress. These have all been tossed away. Everything we've dumped. So we've got like a lot of dumping there. I might just clean that off before we actually sort of let anything actually happen. So let's just go back up to here and pull the lever. Do it now. Okay, that will then atom smash this. That's done. That's just gotten rid of all the stuff that was down there. Just pull that lever again. All right, and hopefully there's nothing. Yeah, there we go. So all the stuff that was there is gone. That's all fine. That's all fine. Rock mechanisms are fine. So Falcon's saying, thanks for the stream. Any idea what you'll be streaming tomorrow? I'm not sure. I do want to stream. I'll probably do a couple of streams tomorrow. If I can. I would like to stream more of the Age of Wonders, to be honest. And yeah, there's a few other games and things. I forget what else I've got. But yeah, probably Age of Wonders. I definitely want to try to do a bit more of that over the weekend. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure yet. I also have a few other recordings and things that I have to do, like some sort of sponsored streams and things, which I've got to look at as well. So I've got a few different things there to have a bit of a look at. So yeah, so I'm unsure. But did you have a request? Did you? Is there something you'd like to see? But I definitely want to do more of the Age of Wonders, just because yeah, I've been enjoying that the setup that we've got for that one. But yeah, I won't be doing Dwarf Fortress until next week. I think where do I want to leave it? Probably want to leave it on the Queen's Quarters. I think would be so where we need to be focused. So this is actually where the Queen's Quarters are. So I think I'll just leave it there, just so we can sort of see what's going on. Yeah. So Supreme Flag saying, well, you know, I want either Zeno or Rimwell. There's too many. I've got too many new things as well as unfortunately at the moment. So I'm sort of. I'm still going to be trying to sort of do things or Dom 6. Yeah. I probably won't get to any of those three to be honest over the next couple of days. I think Age of Wonders will probably be be the one for tomorrow. I think, but I'm unsure. I sort of quite often, unless I have something that I have to stream, it'll be Manor Laws. I haven't played that for a long time. Also got a few of those other. I've downloaded a few demos. I've got a few other games actually. I'll save. There are a few games that I do want to actually try, like Frosthaven. I've downloaded as well. I do want to have a look at that. I haven't actually played Frosthaven before. I've played Gloomhaven, but not that one. Just save and return to the menu. Yeah, that was a pretty good little run there with the with those. Klings was saying, I'd like to see you take another look at Endless Legends 2. Yes, actually, that's probably going to be the one. Actually, maybe. Certainly, I do want to try that with the necrophage. Yes, that's a good idea, because I don't love it, and I'd like to know why I don't like it. Like, I don't dislike it, but I don't like it. And so it's one of those things where I know that they've been working on the feedback and stuff, and so lots of chaos is instead of saying, "Hey, Daz, I stumbled upon a video of someone playing airships, but the challenge was only land-based vehicles, no airships. Have you ever done challenges like that?" That'd be pretty cool. Trouble is, you could do it that way, I guess. That would be interesting. But then I don't know how you then change it so that the AI can't do it, because you sort of want I don't know if you want the AI to be able to. Yeah, that would be interesting. That'd be an interesting way to do it. That would be hard. Set up a table and roll randomly. Yeah, we could do it that way. Necrophage aren't in the demo, by the way. Still just kin and aspect. They are for me. So I don't think I've got a embargo, but I've got necrophage. Actually, I'll just quit out of this, and yeah. So I've got a fair few new things as well that I downloaded yesterday. I sort of went and got a whole lot of stuff. Just go and minimise that. Yeah, so I've got the Dawn of War, the definitive edition. I haven't tried that one yet. It was mentioned yesterday, Victoria 3. There's like a steampunk, so I've reloaded Victoria 3 and got Frosthaven as well. The other things we've got is I did actually download the Antimatter demo, which has been mentioned is not really ready for anything just yet. So I probably won't make any content with that one. Crown and Adventure looks pretty damn good as well. Like, I downloaded that. That's coming soonish, I think. That looks pretty cool, actually. So, but probably not really enough content to do a full run at that one. There's a few of them. Even Warnament, I'd like to make a video on. Shards of the Realm, I'd like to make a video on. So I've got a fair few different stuff. Dawn Apart, I want to have a close look, and Ground of Aces, I want to have a look at as well at some point, but I haven't really done that one just yet. The in terms of where is the embargo stuff? We've got the Endless Legend 2 there. I'll just see if I've opened up the. I'll just accept that. Just see if I do actually have Necrophage as one of the factions that I can play with. Just let it load in. Come on, demo, load in. Yeah, so Kling's was saying, I tried Antimatter last night. It's very rough, definitely not for streaming, I think. Yeah, not yet. I tried it as well. I quite enjoyed it. By the way, Klingzog, you had a big fight today. I don't know if you were here for the start, but there was a lot going on. And you're now in hospital. I did want to test out the necrophage in this game, and I know that they've done a lot of other work as well. So yeah, if I get a chance, I probably will try to play this.
Hi, I'm Derek Paxton.
So,
and we are thrilled to share with the team at Amplitude.
Now Derek is. So it looks like we have to look at this. I can't skip out of this one.
Built with the community in mind, and your involvement.
Derek's an incredible game designer.
Of how we make games. We started with a large insiders program.
I've loved nearly everything. Not everything. I've loved a lot of what Derek's done over the years.
For you to play as we move towards early access. This demo offers a limited part of the game, which is still being actively improved. The process allows us to hear what you like and what you don't like. It allows us to take risks, make adjustments, and create a better game. It also gives
I like
you
that
a chance
approach.
to try it out as it goes through the long process of becoming a released game. So dive in and let us know what you think. Above all, have fun exploring Sayada and Endless Legend 2.
I am many things.
I think I can skip. Oh, here we
I
go.
have been many things.
Yeah, so we've got if we've got a normal game. Yeah, there we go. So I can play Necrophage. So I do actually have the ability to show that one, which so I'll probably end up. I'll just have to double check if I do actually have the embargo on that one, and if I don't, if it's not in embargo, yeah, maybe we'll play that. It'd be cool to sort of have a bit of a play with that one again, and see how it goes. So yeah, there's a few new things sort of on its way. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it there. You're saying you downstreamers have all the fun. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool actually. I get it's sort of like it's interesting. I don't always look to see what's available. I'll just go back to the main menu and quit out of this. But yeah, so I think that's a good idea. Actually, I do want to. I want to like Endless Legends 2. But at the moment I just don't, and it's been a little while. But I'll see how we go. I will be streaming again in an hour's time over on the Slytherin channel, so I'll be streaming some Terminator over there. I'm pretty sure I'm doing Terminator today, which is a great game, by the way. So I'm looking forward to that. It's not easy. There's some sort of awkwardness about setting it up the way that you want to play it, but once you get into it, it's a very cool game. So anyway, I'll be streaming that in about an hour's time. Just want to give myself a bit of a breather before I go off and do that one. So if you're around over on the Slytherin channel, I'll catch you then. Thanks for watching.